button up your shirts. Sir. Happy Monday, everyone. Oh, boy. Nancy Pelosi's in the news. She says she doubted whether Joe Biden wrote the letter where he said he was staying in the race. Pelosi noted its telltale absence of drool. During a new interview, Joe Biden said, quote, "I can't even say how old I am. It's hard for me to get it out of my mouth." Also hard for Biden to get out of his mouth, air. In the same interview, he said that his son, Beau, made him promise to stay engaged in politics. Wow, way to blame a dead guy. Beau should have added, "Hunter, please don't my wife." Tim Walz continues to be criticized for embellishing his rank in service. After it came out over the weekend, he once claimed to be an official bikini inspector. Walz's direct superior in the National Guard says Walz knew his unit was about to deploy to Iraq and went behind the back of his superior officer to resign. When reached for comment, Walz yelled, "Hey, look over there," and then ran away. Although Walz's actions look bad to veterans, Dems say these revelations could really help him win the coward vote. Delta's DEI officer has banned the term "ladies and gentlemen" from airport announcements. I know. And replaced it with, "Dear customers of all gender identities, your flight is canceled and your stewardess has a dick." Kamala Harris said, quote, "Now is the time to get a ceasefire deal and get the hostage deal done." Quote. Yeah, she's trying to have it both ways, like I do with thermometers.
Wow.
British police are threatening to extradite Americans for hate speech, even if what we posted is true, like Princess Diana was a 6.
Little low.
So who knew 2024 would give us the greatest tribute band of all? Kamala Harris taking the stage as the Donald Trump experience. It's true, a decade ago she was Indian, then she became African American, and now she's Orange Hitler. Credit Trump's magical power to turn Kamala into a cackling, pantsuited version of himself. Because like Joe Biden's midnight pee, Kamala's actual policy points are starting to dribble out, and they all come right from the orange guy's handbook. At this point, you could call it the art of the steal. Harris was once cited as the single most liberal member of the U.S. Congress. So liberal, in fact, Bernie was accusing her of stealing his identity and his autographed photo of Che Guevara. But now she's stealing all of Trump's moves. It's clear Trump is winning the war of ideas, but Kamala could win the election by stealing those ideas. It's kind of smart, morphing into Donald. She has no policy to speak of, so why not just take your competitions? She's learned from her husband, if you see something you like, help yourself. Whether it's an idea or a nanny. The hilarious part, all those people who called such positions hateful will now embrace them as joyful.
This is like comfortable, normal, and joyful. That is a powerful thing in campaigns.
This campaign of infectious and dynamic joy that we're seeing.
And that's what they want to distract from by trying to tear these two very positive, joyful, energetic people down.
Full of joy is now just another way of saying full of Here's Kamala's latest contortion.
When I am president, we will continue our fight for working families of America, including to raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Didn't I hear that before?
Those hotel workers and people that get tips, you're going to be very happy, because when I get to office, we are going to not charge taxes on tips, people making tips.
Well, I guess if you spend enough time around Joe Biden, his plagiarism skills are bound to rub off. Then there's illegal immigration. Of course, Trump put in so many executive orders regarding our southern border. He didn't need a wall. He was the wall. Under Trump, official numbers show border encounters slowed to a fraction of what they'd been under Obama. This is, we have our own department do these charts. Pretty good, huh? Then, of course, Biden took over to welcome invaders he now called newcomers, and Hunter called potential baby mamas. Not only did he rescind Trump's border initiatives, he also did this.
I've asked her, the VP today, because she's the most qualified person to do it, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle and the countries that help. We're going to need help in stemming the movement of so many folks stemming the migration to our southern border.
Wow. Don't let our brain-dead media tell you otherwise. He made Kamala the border czar, though it had the same impact as naming her the mayor of Munchkin Land. And here's the results. Look at that, huh? Pretty amazing stuff. Now, after saying she wouldn't treat migrants as criminals, would ban ICE, and support health care for illegals, Harris is now promising strong border security. Well, Kamala, if that's the promise, why aren't you and Joe doing it now while you're still the Veep and he's still above ground? If you're for border security, Cam, why didn't you do it when you had the chance? And again, why not do it now? You're still the czar. Fact is, she's just impersonating, not actually becoming Trump. But maybe she could have Alec Baldwin shoot her in the ear. But these days, everything she says is preemptive of Trump. Remember after Trump promised that at the debate that if elected, he'd get hostages home from Russia, and suddenly there was a deal? Then there's Kamala's position on fracking. She once told CNN there's no question she's banning fracking, but now her campaign says that's just a Trump falsehood. Because the Dems did the polling and knew she'd get killed on that issue. So her handlers told her to flip, and why not? It works. What doesn't work for the Republicans and Trump to do nothing but scream, she's stealing my stuff, because the media doesn't care. No, the smarter move is to point it out and then say, hey, voters, can you trust these people? Whenever Dems get closer to an election, they always turn into Republicans, because they know that to normal voters, their policies are more repulsive than a wet T-shirt contest at The View. So, how can you trust a party that runs as Republicans but then governs as progressives? You can't. So however you vote, shouldn't you at least be voting for the real thing and not a cheap imitation? One of the advantages of Trump's gravitational pull, though, is that it can get Kamala further towards him. For instance, Trump could release a plan that lowers taxes on small businesses and the middle class. A month of stuff like that, and she'll be eating steaks with ketchup at Mar-a-Lago. Because Trump's presence is so compelling, he's able to make everyone pay attention and do the right thing just by looming in the near distance. So voters need to remember that after all the promises, if the Dems win, they fall right back into appeasing the fringe left-wing groups that terrify them. It's like a boyfriend who swears he's going to be faithful to get his girlfriend back, and as soon as she's back, he's right back to banging whores. Only this time, the whores are us, because we'll be the ones she's screwing. Let's welcome tonight's guest. The only way he'll be lionized if he's eaten on safari. Comedian Jeff Dye. I'd never send him back for being too salty. Chef and restaurateur Andrew Gruel. She's got a bun in the oven and a severed head in the fridge. New York Times bestselling author, Fox News contributor Kat Tim. And conspiracy theorists think he built the pyramids. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA champion Tamara. Jeff, I don't think it matters that she's taking his policy platforms. What matters is she's just pretending to take them. And then once they get into power, just like what Biden did, they just revert back to some phony left-wing politician. What say you?
Comma, chameleon.
Wow. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I've been singing it all the last 3 weeks. It's so fun to watch her become these things. It's hilarious. Because when she says, I will stop the border, there's crime and cartels and all that. No, I don't hear anybody calling her a racist.
No, that's true.
I don't hear them go, what? You can't say that. Protect from what? Not all Mexicans.
Yes.
So it's really fun to watch her have to say the things that she was so equity this and equity, and it's like none of that is happening now.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It would be xenophobic coming from Trump, but
Sure.
from her, it's like, wow, how forceful. What a strong woman.
Yeah, I think her plan is now that they're all over her, she'll close the borders so they can't leave.
Yeah.
That's what she's trying to do.
Mr. Gruel, do you believe voters will believe this? Is this just an excuse for people to want Trump's policies without Trump?
Potentially, but I also think that, we're 2 stories away from Kamala Harris going out there and saying she had an affair with Stormy Daniels. But it's the funnier piece of this, let's take a step away, is the way in which the media is covering it, right? So when Trump came out and said that he was going to remove the tax on tips, it was like, we're going to lose $250 billion to the federal, right? It was all about, this is going to be absolutely horrible for the government. And then the media comes out when she says it, and it's some anodyne approach, this policy is amazing, no problem at all. But to be a little negative here, because I know about this whole tip thing, just the tip though, is that what she's going to do is that she's going to remove the tax on tips for the worker and she's going to double it for the business. Trump is going to eliminate it altogether.
Interesting. See? It's all a Trojan horse. And if I had actually stayed awake during history, I would know what that analogy means. I always say Trojan horse, have no idea what a Trojan horse is. You know, I just thought maybe it was a condom factory.
It is.
But anyway, on a related subject, you're positively glowing.
No, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks. I need to go to wardrobe. Nothing fits.
You're positively bursting with a baby.
Yes.
So what do you make of this? Does it frustrate you to see liberals all of a sudden parrot the opposite, knowing it's not real?
Well, I've always kind of felt like the 2 parties are just different versions of big government, and the things that they want to control are just different, but they both want control, they both want to spend. So it is interesting to see it just become the same version when it comes to her. It would, let's just see how dumb we can make this at this point. I mean, think about the past month, how ridiculous things have gotten. What if at the debate, she just repeats everything he says?
Yes.
I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, no, if he's
Don't copy me. Yeah, that'd be
because
awesome.
I don't think we've had this before, where someone says something on their platform and the other person just says the exact same thing.
Yes.
Without acknowledging, it would have been one thing if she would have acknowledged that he said it, but she didn't.
Yes.
But the thing is, if she did that, I think that Trump, as would almost anyone, would probably go legitimately insane.
This almost.
And what would the media say if would they just say it as if he hadn't said it?
Yeah.
They were like, look at all these great ideas she had.
They can't, because then they would have to admit that he wasn't Orange Hitler. She got up there and she said what he said. They'd go, wow, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. Is this a political version of stolen valor?
Sure. Man, it's a really well-run campaign. It's hard to throw rocks, but apparently I got a load of them to throw, so let's do this. All right, first thing, wasn't she the deciding vote?
Yes.
Yes.
To make the tips thing a reality? You're the one who cut the head off the tip chicken. Sorry. But here's the thing. She's going to do this. She's doing it well, and Republicans are complaining like coaches who are not getting their call.
Right.
All President Trump has to do is raise it up.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to take away taxes for waitresses? Okay, no taxes for veterans and first responders. What do you got? Just keep raising it. Listen, the art of the deal.
Yeah.
Not only that, just keep untaxing. Keep coming up. Is it hard? Isn't it hard?
It'll work.
Yes, create a tax-free state.
Just keep doing it, whatever's, add 10 more to it, whatever it is.
A sanctuary city for taxes.
Let's call it Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we got to move on. But before we go, here's a quick reminder. We're going to be live next week in New York at 11 p.m. So it's an hour later, but live during the Democratic National Convention, Monday, August 19th to Thursday, the 22nd. We're going to need a few people in the audience who are willing to stay up with us and stare at my gorgeous body.
Pajama party?
Yeah, pajama party it is.
Pajama party?
Yeah.
Pajama party all week at the DNC.
Wear a shorty robe and you get in free. Actually, you get in free no matter what, so. Go to foxnews.com/Gutfeld for ticket info.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.